Well, what's up, guys? What's up? It's NikoTheLegend, and wow, this is, I guess we're doing this on the spot. This was not an expected Niko show episode. I was honestly not expecting it. But I hope you're doing well. Hello. We're almost to the end of, well, geez, June. What a fucking year it has been. Right? Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So, if you don't know me, I'm the guy that wears the Mario hat, also known as Woman or Teenager in the Snowflake. And this is going to be a very special Niko show, which is going to be talking all about my book. And don't worry, I'm going to be having this podcast on there, on the YouTube channel, on Spotify, once I get that Spotify fucking upload stuff cleared, because it's really being annoying. Hopefully by this point, when this releases, it'll be fixed. Hopefully. But I don't know. So we're talking all about my book. I know that sounds egotistical, but I want you guys to be up to speed on this as well. If you're anybody in the chat who has a question about NikoTheLegend, ask away. This can be a long episode. I usually go for like an hour with this stuff, but if it goes longer than it needs to, then that's fine. But that's basically what we're discussing. Now on YouTube's, I will make a smaller video for YouTube just talking about it real quick. And, I got some special plans in the future for NikoTheLegend. I want to do something really special for it. Okay, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this autofocus bullcrap. I hate it with a passion. So, yeah. First episode should be coming up soon on Spotify. It should be coming up. I hope I'm not too late. But I want to get the Spotify thing going, the podcast. I want people to hear me while they're on the road, taking a shower, just sitting, chilling. I don't know. Just, like you're cooking or something. You want to check me out. I would really appreciate that because I do have a lot to say. I have a lot of NikoTheLegend podcast shows. Well, I got 57 episodes now. And I kind of stopped a little while ago just because I kind of fell out of it because it wasn't really getting good reception. But I'm trying to make a second comeback with it. Whether it goes anywhere or not, I don't really care at this point. I just want to do it because I feel like doing it. And that should be enough for people to enjoy. And this time you see my face. Last time on the episode, we didn't get to see my face, but that's okay. For YouTube's sake, I'm going to keep my face on there. But it's obviously on Spotify, I got to download the episode and then I got to cut my video feed, and it's got to be just like one big sound bit, But that's okay. That's, we're not really worried too much about that, although it's kind of a pain in the ass, that whole setup to get one podcast on Spotify. It's not as easy as you people think. It's got extra steps and it's really annoying. Sorry, Spotify. Nothing, a little bit against you, but you can make it a little bit easier. You could just have, not have to use a RSS feed and just your platform can be a legit podcast platform too, not an extension page. It's basically what they are. They're not solely a podcast platform. It may seem like it, but they're really not. You got to be using an actual podcast website that you pay monthly for, which I'm doing. It's just being annoying with getting all that stuff set up. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about NikoTheLegend. So, for those of you that don't know, I just finished NikoTheLegend maybe about a few days ago to 4 days ago. A momentous occasion, of course, and this is going to be the book that changes everything about NikoTheLegend's future here. Like, this is that book. Like, this is how much this means to me. It was an amazing achievement. I had a blast doing it. And we're still not done. I'm just talking about we got the rough draft done, basically. And guess what? I did a page count last night. You want to know what it was? Not 100, not 200, not 300, but 323. Okay, you know what I mean. And it might be more once I go through and edit everything. Or if I have to add anything in, or maybe I got to cut stuff out. I don't know. But we're trying to trim the fat, and we're trying to just make it nice and refined, pristine, sculpting it, adding a dick bulge here and there, like the Statue of David or something like that. Thanks, Michelangelo. Or was it Donatello? We don't know. But when I was talking about that documentary or a special video, I want to do a documentary for Niko the Legend. Um, I know it sounds a bit over the top, and it's just like usually you have people do documentaries for you and interview you, but you know what? I don't care. I'll do a self documentary. It's possible to do. Talk all about it, kind of like what I'm doing now. Like for me, this right here isn't gonna get too much reception, just because of who I am. And this doesn't have too much editing. I know there's a lot of people with podcasts out there that don't add too much editing themselves. It's just them talking like how I am. But I wanted to make the documentary something with really cool edits and stuff and features and kind of like this little journey that I go through. I take you on this journey kind of deal, and I kind of make it more inspirational and fun. And I get down to the nitty gritty with this. So, for like I said, for those of you who don't know what NikoTheLegend is, or who Niko is in general, it's basically my persona, a character that I made up from scratch, along with the universe that goes with it, with the book of NikoTheLegend, which is a medieval fantasy book. And like I said, built from scratch, heavily inspired by all kinds of forms of entertainment, books, art, music, video games especially, of course, movies. Did I say movies? Yeah. So pretty much everything I've seen in my life has tied into this. Has tied all into one nice package. Not below the belt this time. So why did I do it? Oh, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Gotta be talking about what NikoTheLegend is about. I was getting to that. Kind of got sidetracked by my ego. So this is I would say your typical hero's journey story. You got this kid, he's got this destiny, gets thrown in the middle of some kind of danger, like I don't know, he's got to save some damsel in distress, gets chosen by this ultimate sword, and it's kind of like that. And he's got to take out the bad guy. I know it sounds simple on paper like that, but like, I kind of don't want to give it away. I'll give you a tidbit of how the setting is. So Niko is the son of a retired soldier of the military. His dad, who fought in this this really war called the Blood Wars, who, wanted to get away from the city life, retired, didn't like what was going on. You can find out why in the book, of course. And him and his son, Niko, decided to move out to the countryside and live next to this very dangerous forest called the Forest of Gash. And you also find out why he does that. Now, so they decided to pick up the farm life, and then out of one of the days, as Niko's just minding his own business, a figure runs out of the Forest of Gash being chased by a monster. And pretty much right then and there, like, I don't bullshit around in the first chapter, I pretty much get straight to it. It happens, being chased. Niko's first encounter with a monster of epic proportion, not epic, but pretty massive. First monster I had to work with, first monster I had to create. So a lot of different characters were introduced in the first chapter or the second chapter. But yeah, it pretty much goes from there. Niko finds out what this damsel in distress was all about, or this figure that was running away, who this person is, and he figures out that it's like one of the most important people of the entire planet. And then Niko is entrusted with the Blade of Enchiridion and has chosen him, and takes it with him, goes on this perilous quest to eventually rescue the damsel and decide how to take out the bad guy, And then, so it sounds, like I said, it sounds very simple, very basic, but it's all about execution. There's only so much I could talk about without giving too much away. But it's really, really cool how I did it. I really, really tried to make it simple, easy to follow, not tooting my own horn type of deal where I'm just trying to sound like over the top with vocabulary or unnecessary detail. Like, it's just straight to it. It's just like no bullshit. I try to sugar it up or spice it up a bit. I think I did a good balance on it. And that's pretty much what I did for the entire book. In the beginning, writing the chapters and stuff, because it was my first time ever writing something on, like on a scale like that. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I had the ending in mind. Supposedly, I had the first original thought of the ending, and then I had the beginning of it. But it's all about the in the middle, the chunk where the action really starts, where the adventure begins. Um, so I had a general idea, but in the beginning it was kind of, I was new. It's like I was fresh out of college, ready to tackle the new world of jobs and stuff, looking for the big paycheck, not knowing what to expect. It's kind of like that with the book, guys. I was a novice. Educational background. I only took English classes that I needed to do and writing classes. That's it. I didn't major in anything in literary works or creative writing or journalism. Absolutely none of that. But you know what? I know from all my experience in my life that I got with, simple education like elementary school through high school and then college. Not even that, but video games that I play, books that I've read, movies that I've seen. This is what I'm talking about. This is me bringing up the things that tied it all together in a nice bow, or a nice package. Jeez, almost messed that up. And it helped. Like, it helped big time. And I felt really good about it. I like, truth be told, I tried writing a book when I was 18 because I was wanting. Actually, you know what? Let's go even further back. There's actually more to this. There's actually an origin story. So because of how much I love video games growing up and how much I love the stories that these developers have made for me, these story writers, I'll give you an example, like Final Fantasy IX and Chrono Trigger. Okay, fantastic storylines. Now, you could say those were the games that heavily inspired me. And I always wanted to do story writing for video games, but I never got into it. It was just, I don't know. It seemed like too much of a hassle for me. I don't know. It probably wouldn't have been. But, life takes you on interesting paths. So I was kind of going with the flow on my mindset. I wanted to major in psychology, which I did. I got a bachelor's in it, and I don't want any more, even if that's a useless degree to have. I don't care. Whatever. I'm educated in some regard. I got the piece of paper. Oh, boy. No loans, though, so I'm good. I got lucky on that. Now, if I went to a master's, they would have reamed my ass with loans. And I'm like, nope, sorry. Not falling for that trick. Not falling for that bait. So, yeah, I've always wanted to do story writing for video games, and I just never majored into it. But you know what? That's what made me want to do it when I was 18. I wanted to give it a shot. And I remember being at my mom's house, visiting her from Florida, visiting her when she lives in California, and I was visiting from Florida. I used to go like once or twice a year to see her. It's just one of the times I went to go see her. When I was 18, I took out a piece of paper, pen and paper, and I tried. I wrote like a few sentences, and I just couldn't fucking do it. I didn't have the mental capacity to do it. I just couldn't do it. So that was round one. Already got knocked out. The match was over before I could even really start something fresh. So, when did I actually start? I started in 2013. I started when I was 23 years old. Pretty crazy. Is this a 7-year? Okay, so on Instagram and Twitter I said 6 years. It's supposed to be 7. I just kind of forgot because, time does that. It makes things a bit muddled. So yeah, 7 years, 2013 is when I decided, Niko, to take my imagination, my creativity, my inspiration to the next level. And writing a book, my friends, is pretty intense stuff. And it's pretty exciting at the same time. I didn't realize how much work it involves, but it does require a lot of work, especially with somebody who's not getting paid for it. It's a passion project. It's a passion project, but you know what? This passion project, it's gonna be fucking turned into something. It's gonna be turned into a book that I'm very proud to release into the world and people to enjoy. And I think people will enjoy it. I honestly do. Anybody could enjoy it. Anybody could, and I really can't wait for people to check it out. But anyway, not to completely derail what I'm trying to say. So, why Niko the Legend? Why did I decide to pick that title? Why did I go with this setting? Why not just do fan fiction or something like that? Why from scratch? Well, it's because I didn't want to have to owe anybody any explanation of why I try to retcon someone's universe that has already been created. And you know how much research you have to do to like fully understand the universe? I don't even think people really do that. Authors, they just kind of go with like the general knowledge of what they already know. For example, like Star Wars, I couldn't do a Star Wars story of my own. I just couldn't do it. I'm not smart enough and proficient enough to know all the bits and bulbs of what goes on in the lore of Star Wars. And I love Star Wars. I'm a big fan. I'm wearing the shirt right now. That's a dead giveaway, right? But it's futuristic stuff, sci-fi. I can't get away with making up magical things, contraptions. Like, I like sticking to medieval fantasy because I have more free range, more free roam. When magic involved, I can get away with a lot, you know. Sci-fi, I gotta know the sciences and stuff, the physics, the calculations. That's just too much research. I just want to just go easy flow, you know. Even Flow by Pearl Jam. I don't really even like Pearl Jam, but that's a decent song. But anyway, so I wanted to do that. I wanted to make my own universe because I think I was capable of doing it. And you know what helped me get to that point with creativity was music. Music really expanded my creative thought because there was a lot of times, learning an instrument really opens up your mind to possibilities of creating your own music and just branching out that way once you are proficient enough to make your own sounds and stuff. And drums as my key instrument really helped me develop different ways of making a cool beat or something that people can enjoy listening to, for me and for you. So I took that application of trying to, have the information fly at me. You should never go to the creative department like that. The creative department comes to you. Like, the ideas have to flow to you naturally. If you think too hard on it, your brain just explodes, and the hamster gets too tired on the wheel. Good joke. But you get what I'm trying to say. You get burnt out that way. So that's a good way to get writer's block, is when you think too hard. It's like it should just come to you naturally. So I took what I've gathered, and I'm a lot better of a drummer now than I was 7 years ago. So imagine if I started now. Who knows how I would have been. But you know what? I'm okay with that. That's fine. Time and place for everything. That was the time. That's when I wanted to do it. I was a babe in the woods, just minding my own business, and I stumble upon something great, something inspirational to motivate me to create Niko the Legend and the universe that goes with it. So many people now I understand. Many people get worried and frightened by the whole aspect of just sitting down and writing something, not knowing what to write. Listen, guys, it's not as hard as you're making it. If you have the maturity to do it and the patience, then fine. But if you don't right now, that's okay. Just work on it. I mean, you could at least try, Just have, everyone's got something they always want to create a story about. And I've had plenty of people in my life that have really, really awesome ideas. They just don't know how to put it on paper. And that's a problem. It's like, how do you do it? How do you get from point A to point B? You just got to do it. You have the basis. You have the foundation. You just have to put it in words. You have to just make it sound pretty, right? It sounds good in your head, but on paper, it's a little different. It's a different platform than your mind. But your mind is a very chaotic thing. So your mind's always brainstorming ideas and stuff on what's possible and what you could do and what you can't do. But hey, guys, guess what? When you put it on paper, you're narrowing it down. You're making it pristine. You're being precise, and you have a vision. The vision is being solidified. I just spat a little bit there. Sorry. I'm really passionate about this stuff, in case you couldn't tell. And that is going on paper. That's just one platform. If you're an artist and you want to paint stuff, exactly the same thing. Music, it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever forms of entertainment of arts and crafts. Writing is another one of those things. So with me, I had my ending, I had my beginning, and then I just remember sitting down, and I just went. I just started typing. I was kind of just doing my thing. I was like, oh, this sounds good. Oh, Niko's gonna look like this. Maybe I did brainstorm a little bit in the beginning, but nothing too extraneous to where I'm gonna get burnt out. I'm trying to recollect what I remember from 7 years ago. It's a long time that has passed since all this has happened. It's a very humbling experience, though. Very nice thing to think back on. Much has happened in 7 years for me. It's crazy, right? A lot can happen in 1 year. A lot can happen in a day. 7 years is what took me to make my first book. So just keep that in mind. So just the beginning chapters and stuff. I wasn't good at making the chapters long, but I was just trying to get to the point. That's all that matters. Just get to the point. Just get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. You can fluff it up a little bit, add a little bit of details and stuff. Do proper character development. All the bits and bulbs that go into making a story great is there. You know how to do it. You just got to practice it. As anything else goes in life, you just got to practice. And as the years went on by, I got better and better and better at understanding how to, 1, not get writer's block, 2, letting it come to me naturally, and 3, being patient. Being patient. There were times I wouldn't write for 2 weeks or maybe a month even, because I was waiting. I was waiting for the thought to come to me. It just, and a lot of the time it just hits me out of the blue, especially with the ending. The ending for this part, I want to do a trilogy out of these books, and the ending I thought I had in the beginning of the book is not the ending that I did for this one. So for anybody who, spoilers, I guess, sorry, but the ending I have for this is way cooler. It just came to me. It came to me like a flash of light, a bright light, filled with the promise of the future and the wealth that goes with it, of success and trial and everything else. The door was open. It was open. And as soon as it opened, it flew right through and then made me fall on my ass. But I caught it. Caught it before it left, and I put it down on paper, and boom. It was created. It was born into something great. Much thought, much passion, and love. Love's also important. So back to what I was talking about. And so, yeah, I was a bit unrefined for a little while, and then as time went on, I got better at writing longer chapters. I got better at describing. I learned some, as reading I was reading other books as the years went on by. I was trying to give myself more ideas and kind of more inspiration and kind of understanding how these guys do these details, how long their chapters are, and kind of just presentations, execution, just a 101 of proper story creating. So I picked medieval fantasy because I love medieval fantasy. A lot of the games I played takes place. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I liked that also was sci-fi, but like I said, I wasn't smart enough. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not afraid to do that. But medieval fantasy just touches my heart, man. It takes it home. Makes me feel close to home, and I really love, Lord of the Rings, King Arthur's story. Like I said, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy IX. Just a lot of games like Legend of Zelda is a great medieval fantasy game. Guys, video games really shaped my life in the right ways. I was set straight from the beginning. It's great. So, I mean, how cool is it to be like, I'm writing this fucking epic or this novel series, and it's gonna blow your mind and your load. You're gonna be doing both. Your mind's gonna be blown and your dick's gonna be blown, or your vagoo. What? Who? Inappropriate, Niko? Yep. You knew it was coming. Oh, pun not intended. So I was basically following this formulaic structure the whole time. Along the way, thinking of new characters, thinking of new scenes, new cities, new monsters, new ways of making the story have plot twists, keeping it interesting, And I was doing a lot of it on top of my head, and then eventually I got to a certain point in life where I learned to do outlines for stories. For the chapters. and it helped a lot. But there's two types of people that do these that write books. There are people that think on top of their head. They kind of wing it, and there's people that actually sit there and brainstorm and outline the chapters. And I started to do that at the final leg of the story. Maybe like the last 5 chapters I started doing it. And there's 38 chapters. So it took me a while, but I learned it. But you know what? Along the way, I did it. I guarantee I did a fine enough job. Not to, sound like guys, come on. Like my pride is not being tested here. Like I'm not worried about that, because I know that I'll get people that won't like my story for numbers of reasons. But I hope it's a fair balance or an overwhelmingly positive output for me, and I can't wait. So, Niko originally, the character Niko, I didn't know how I wanted to make him in the beginning. I didn't know if I wanted him to be human. I didn't know if I wanted him to be a frog, because we know how much I love frogs, because my best friend Deil made my name Niko for Frog in Chrono Trigger, or picked the name. They changed Frog's name and put Niko, and that's where it all started. Really, that was a humble beginning. And then I kind of took that with me. That was my character in D&D. That name Niko was in my books. It's my avatar for streaming, for YouTube. Just even the name NikoTheLegend is a trademark of mine. It got around. It's something I like to utilize. It's awesome. So, and I was thinking of is Niko gonna be human in this game? Because I wanted to make it kind of elusive. And then as you read, you find out what he really is. But you know what? I don't even remember if I actually just flat out called him human. I don't know. I definitely talked about his appearance and stuff. So he has hair and stuff. So I think it's safe to say that he's human. I don't want a frog with hair. That looks so weird. Oh God, excuse me. Oh my Lord. How rude of me. That's gonna sound funny on podcasts. On Spotify whenever it goes on. So, Niko. And then I made Deil. Deil's in the book. I just call him Davey. That's what my dad's name is. And then Kaylee is my mom, which is also a roommate. And then their cat Mew is a main character. So, that's because we were just hanging out all the time around that age when I first started writing. So I was just kind of like, okay, this sounds cute. This sounds really cool. Why not? And then the the lead female of the story, the damsel in distress, the overseer of Gale. Gale is the world name. Her name is Andrea, which Andrea is this girl I met back when I was 13 years old, back in 2003. I met her online from a friend I met through online. It was basically a friend of a friend. A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Yeah, it was crazy. I went down the tree, the friend tree, and so we were good friends for most of our lives. Most of the time I've known her since day. We don't talk much anymore, unfortunately, but I miss her to death. She's if there's how we have those friends that we just love to death. I don't care. It can be platonic. It can be that type of love, where you're just really fond of that person, and in a safe, healthy way, to where you're not going to be obsessed. You're I have to have her. But she was one of those girls. Well, we did get close at one point, relationship wise, but later on, I kind of had a falling out because I didn't live in She lives in California, and I always lived in Florida. So this is when I was visiting my mom twice a year, and then eventually, as I got older, they got harder because the job got in the way, school. Just life responsibilities, blah, 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 bills to pay. So nowadays, it's just, we don't really talk anymore, but I still love her to death, man. She's definitely one of the greatest people I ever met. I miss her to death. So Andrea, if you're ever out there listening and you find this in the ether, in the internet verse, I love you, girl. I think she knows it. Last time I talked to her was I wished her a happy birthday on her birthday. I text her. I still have her number. I'll never delete it. No way, So anyway, main character, Andrea, super awesome character. I had a blast developing her character. Not talking about her tits either, but the character development for these stories, I love doing. like the main group. You know, I love doing Mew. I love creating Niko. I love creating Andrea. I love creating uh, Iso, which you'll find out who Iso is. I love creating Zen. I mean, not even like the main character, like the side characters, supporting characters. I love creating those too. Lord Wreath, I really love doing the villain. He's got a very awesome plot twist to his character development. You guys will really like. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic. So obviously, I can go on forever talking about that. So, Niko the Legend took 7 years to do because, like I was saying, like with my friendship with Andrea, like stuff gets in the way, you know, and I wasn't gonna pressure myself like that. I was gonna take my time and flesh it out, you know, like some people do that with stuff they make. Sometimes it takes a long time. And you know what? You can ask Mr. Martin, Mr. J.R.R. Martin, for, you know, Game of Thrones books. We're still missing 2 books, and it's been 20 years. We're still waiting. He hasn't fucking made the books yet. He's so burnt out from those books. And thank God for his TV show, but that's why the last 2 seasons suffered for Game of Thrones, because he didn't have 2 books done. So it's like, fucking A, dude. Anyway, he's a fucking fat guy, though. He's a big, heavy-set dude. He's probably dealing with diabetes or some shit. God rest his soul. In the future. So anyway, so there's a time and place for everything, and it's just, I just wanted to enjoy it, you know, and do it when I felt like doing it. Now there were times where I had to make an effort to sit down and do it, because it is hard work. It's work, but it's work that I love doing, and it at times like on average I spend an hour doing it, and I remember, man, I got fond memories when I first started to do it. I'd spend an hour. In the beginning, I would try to do it every day, and then it became every other day, and then every few days, and then back to every other day. You know, it was a vicious cycle, back and forth, and eventually to where I am now, where I was finished. I was pretty diligent on like doing it almost every other day, or at least like every 3 days, or something like that. You know, like just to keep it flowing. If I had the creative juices, you know, because like I said, you don't want to rush it. You can't rush greatness, as they say. And as another saying goes, only fools rush in. So I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to stumble on like some crazy plot hole that I completely misread or didn't think about, or I just forgot about. Because 7 years makes you forget what you wrote 38 chapters in. Trust me. So that's why, guys, when I get back into the swing of things, because I'm taking a break from writing the book, you know, because 7 years is a long time. I'm not going to wait too long, but I got to go back and edit the rough draft for myself. And then when it's done, I got to go to a legit professional editor for them to work on it. I just want to make their job a little bit easier, you know. That way I can add in when I already add my 2 cents, and then they can, like, I guess, do whatever they need to do without destroying my work. And then I get it published, and then we're good. And then I just gotta find ways to promote it, you know? Oh, I'll find ways to promote it, folks. Don't you fucking worry. I'll find ways. I will be super diligent about it. I kid you not. I will make it happen, Captain. Let me take this water sip real quick. I've been talking all about NikoTheLegend. It's pretty fun. I don't know if we'll go past an hour. I don't got many people in here, unfortunately, but oh, it's the vicious cycle with big tech companies not liking who I am. That's fine. That's fine. I'm used to it. So, you know, in the future, when I get the final draft done and it becomes like a legit book, you know, a soft or a paperback book, I should just make a hardcover for myself, guys, and frame, and just have that to me for now until I make enough money to get hardcovers made. So, the future of NikoTheLegend is that, you know, I want to say I talked enough about the book itself. Just in conclusion with the book creation process, guys, it's out of this world, and you'll never find an experience like it. Like, you are in control. Nobody can question you on your motives, thoughts and motives. Maybe if they proofread it, they might ask you why you did this and try to get an idea, like try to be empathetic. But trust me, guys, no one can judge your work on originality. If it's a world that you're creating, they don't have any say on the originality of it. It's you. You're the one playing God. They're bearing witness to it. So just remember that. They're just critics at that point, you know. So the future of NikoTheLegend, like I said, I wanted to get it published. I wanted to get out there. You know, that's gonna be the best thing. I would love to get it to be a bestseller. Not a New York Times bestseller, because I'm worried about New York Times looking into my like YouTube history or Twitch history or Twitter history about like my political views. I have a problem with that. I'm kind of worried about that because New York. But besides the point, who knows? Like, maybe just whatever publisher decides to be like, holy crap, this guy's amazing, bestseller. Maybe I'll get a bestseller on Amazon. Who knows? Political views don't matter on bestseller for books, which is actually, now that I think about it, Jordan Peterson, Stefan Molyneux, bestsellers, man. It's pretty great. And they're straight down the middle. You know, they're not left-leaning or right-leaning or anything like that. They're straight down the middle, only about the truth. So that's how it is for me anyway, with my views on life and political stuff. But with the book, I think I'll be in good hands. I don't think I'll have anything to worry about unless people are trying to like throw shade my way or try some way to like ruin my career that I supposedly have already, you know. But I hope to make a lot of money from it, and just keep it alive, man. Just have the legacy keep going. Even after my death, I want it to be relevant for people. I want it to be the next, Lord of the Rings. I want it to be the next Harry Potter, A Tale of Fire and Ice. I want it to be that. I want it to be an epic fantasy that people will remember forever. I want it to be the next, like, Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. You know? You can make it happen, guys. And obviously, you guys listening in, for anybody who's hearing this, God, I hope someone's listening to this, someone out there. It's going to be up to you and me. Like, we're in this together. If you want to see me fulfill my goal, I'm going to need your help. Donate to my page. No, just kidding. I mean, you can. Donating is always helpful, but I would wait until I actually really need it, you know, and I'll make a video on it one day whenever it happens, when I'll, you know, ask for support if you want to, you know, but, you know, every little bit's going to count. Doesn't matter. Word of mouth, networking, just sending it to your friends, letting them know about it, you know, that's all going to help. It's all about networking in the end, because I'm a needle in a haystack, and I just want to get out there, man. Like, if I become a celebrity from this book, or someone really popular, upcoming author, I would like to drop all this stuff. I'll drop YouTube. Maybe I won't drop YouTube, but I could see myself dropping Twitch, because I'm gonna need free time to keep going with the books. If it becomes like an actual job, I can't do Twitch. I have to spend all my time writing, you know, because there's deadlines at that point. I'm just thinking ahead, you know. I'm trying to be smart about this. So that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make, by the way. It's gonna be hard in the beginning because I stream quite a bit. It's gonna be, but old habits die hard, and I'll be all right. Maybe I'll just stream when I actually have days off. You know, it's still not an impossible thing. You know, there's ways to compromise. But imagine if the book becomes a video game. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. That would be a dream come true. Or I don't know about a movie. Movies are pretty finicky, but you know what? An animated movie, you know what? It doesn't matter. A movie, I'd have to be there for the creative process. Oh yeah, I gotta be like head lead on this shit. Like, everybody's gotta be able to read the book. So, a video game would be the best thing, though. It would be amazing experience to have that book translated into another platform, you know. And, you know, I feel like these developers for games will be able to add more to the universe, because it's going to be in a physical sense. You're going to see it on screen. And, like, you guys, they'll have the creative minds to create their own monsters and add it to the universe. I'm like, well, go ahead. You know, I won't mind. I don't mind the help like that. Just don't like retcon my work. You know, I have to give it to a trusting company. So basically, anybody who's owned by Activision, EA, you can kiss that shit goodbye. I'm not giving it to you guys. I don't care if you have a comeback or turnaround where you're at. You guys are the best developers. Nope. I'll give it to like Obsidian Ooh, Obsidian would be beautiful. Or Larian Studios or something. Like, those guys are fucking pros at making RPG storylines. I wish I could give it to BioWare, but nope. No. Maybe I'll get Drew Capershin to publish my book. I would love to meet Drew Capershin. What was his name? Timothy Zahn. He's a fantastic Star Wars author. Geez, like, I don't know, I guess Martin. He's not really a guy. I do need to read the Game of Thrones books. I hear they're fantastic. But folks, that's just a part. That's the future to come. Like, I gotta have those goals, and I know you guys understand that too, and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you guys and everything you've done to support me along the way. And I can't stress it enough. I just can't wait for you guys to read it. And guess what? When I print out my rough draft, which is 323 pages, spoilers, as of right now, I know I mentioned that in the beginning, but once I print out the rough draft, compiled it, I'm framing that, putting it on my wall or somewhere where I could see it and be like, man, good times. And I'm just gonna call it Rough Draft, NikoTheLegend Rough Draft 1. And just boom, 300 pages of that. I really need to buy my own printer too. I need to do that so I can not use anybody else's paper or ink. Because 300 plus pages is quite a bit, but I'm going to fucking do it, Because I'm going to be printing people copies that really want the rough draft. Only like a handful. Like, I'm not going to give it to like everybody who asks for it, because I don't want to spoil the story without it actually looking like its final product, Like, this is a beta, guys. This is the demo. A beta. Yeah. Oh, well, a beta, you can almost see the whole thing. This is, alpha phase. I'm like, I was in pre-alpha, but I'm in alpha right now. So, that is NikoTheLegend. And you know what? Anybody's going to be able to enjoy it. It's for all ages. There's some curse words in it, but, it's not stuff you wouldn't hear in the Bible. Okay, I think there's bastard and, like, shit or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I have to go back through it. But, it's going to be an interesting time. This year and next year will be an interesting time to see what happens with my book. And guys, I will let you know if it happens or not. Now, real quick before I go off on a good, this is more of like a reality check note. Guys, if my book doesn't do well, we have to find ways for it to be successful at least. If it's not a good book, let's find ways to make it successful, even if it's bad. It's so bad, it's good type of deal. Just kidding. It'd be great to have a cult following. I would like that. If the book becomes underrated, it's still better than nothing, because someone's trying to keep it alive. But guys, if the book doesn't sell, if my success story doesn't happen, I just gotta live with the facts. A victory, a loss, well earned. Even a victory, sometimes losses are well earned too in its own right. And you learn more from losing. What are you learning from winning? That you're just better. But learning from losing has a lot more tied into it. A lot of attributes go into the role, because you want to know why you lost. No one ever wants to know why they won. No one cares about that. They're like, wee, yippee, wow, I'm on cloud 9, I'm so high, nirvana. So I am trying not to doubt myself. I'm just trying to be realistic here. I don't want to go in entirely blind optimism. I just love seeing those two words together. But it's a very common thing for people to go through. Blind optimism is a scary thing. Sometimes you got to be careful with that, because that shit will just hit you like a freight train right back at you. And guys, it's gonna be special. It's gonna be special. Just like when I finish writing. Ooh, good feeling. Anyway, folks, I've been your host, NikoTheLegend. I hope you did enjoy. Now that you have a taste of what's yet to come for NikoTheLegend, hang tight, because you'll see it soon enough, okay, before you know it. Out of sight, out of mind, and then boom, and it'll be in your face. And like I said, I like to thank all family and friends, everyone who was tied into it, It means a lot. You guys mean the world to me, and I hope that we can do this together. We will do it together. And get through this and make this my dream a reality. We technically did. Writing a book is a dream. Now, getting it to be popular is another dream, and letting people experience what you experience. That's going to be the great motherfucking part. So, NikoTheLegend signing out. I hope you did enjoy. You're always welcome to follow me on the Twitch, YouTube, join the Discord community, and check me out on Twitter at Nick Sorokin. Don't know how to spell it? Too bad. All right, see you guys.